Vladimir. But all that is. Aye. Any opposed? Okay. Motion will carry 4-0.
Just as a reminder, I muted everybody because I have a lot of background noise, but whenever you're gonna speak, if you can unmute yourself, please. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Moving on to item 3, discussion, consideration, and action on entering on agreement with T-Mobile Connecting Heroes program presented by Chief Enriquez. Chief.
So as you all know, we have a joint agreement with FirstNet, with providing us with GPS connectivity and phone connectivity. However, here within the last year, we noticed there's been some issues having to do with our radio connectivity with FirstNet. They have not fulfilled their end of the deal as far as connecting us with the radio communication. Our push to talk is not working the way it was supposed to. I was advised by Mr. Hopkins that the management portion of it, they haven't fulfilled it either. However, T-Mobile came up to us and they're launching an area similar to FirstNet. I will in your packet a overview of what the Connecting Heroes is. Business T-Mobile Connecting Heroes is for all eligible public and nonprofit, including local police, fire, and EMS. And it's basically offering us the ability to be able to reallocate the funds that we have visiting right now for our data lines, phone lines, to be able to utilize to purchase any other needed technology such as body cameras, in-car dash video, cloud storage, etc. And with the Connecting Heroes, we have two options. We can actually pay nothing, and it will give us a gigabyte of smartphone, mobile, and data line, or we can get the $15, which is unlimited talk, text, and data at 20 up to 20 gigabytes of mobile hotspot. So we will still be on the priority network, the same similar as FirstNet, but however we anticipate to have the better support, and of course it'll help us utilize the money that we have set aside in our budget to further whatever technology we have. We do have to purchase the cell phone from them because I talked to them and the phones of CDA are not compatible. But they do have a solution with it, which is the Samsung. Asking if you all can consider it, take a look at it. I guess for the first thing to do is we have a termination fee or what have you. If we have a contract with them, I think we've already fulfilled. I have to get back into it. But I mean, either way, if we do or not, I think this is the best interest of the town that we can transition over to them. I think radio is better than paying the $1,000 or $800 a month that we pay, and we can utilize those funds to reallocate to pay for the cloud storage, for our body cams, etc. I mean, I think it's a cost saver for the town, and it's more efficient. Right now, we're using it very limited as far as the push and talk. So we're not using it to the affordability the way that FirstNet has told us that they were going to. I'll be open to any questions there.
Chief, about how much are we looking for a phone?
We're looking at about $100 to $180 per
phone, brand new. But if we have existing phones that can carry are compatible with a carrier, then we don't have to purchase a phone. I know we have some phones that are compatible, so like those are eligible to guys ones, those military grade ones. Those aren't able to be on the T-Mobile network because they don't talk well with the network. But we're looking at about $100 to $180 per phone.
What would the average monthly cost be compared to what we were paying for Verizon?
So our monthly average would be, so let's say, for example, we do the unlimited with Eber, Esteban, myself, and the lieutenant. That's 4 lines at $15 each. So we're looking at $60. The MDTs utilize about, well, I'll take it back, sir. We have a couple of units that use more than 1 gig of data because of the wireless Wi-Fi connectivity. So it would be about, give or take, about maybe $120 to $240 a month, more or less, for everybody on the line compared to what we're paying right now. I think we're paying about 800 to 1,000 something a month.
Okay. Any other questions from council? Any comment? I got an item for next council meeting until we get finalized, word on what the cost is if we are having to terminate services with FirstNet, or if we're already out of our contract. And then the second question I have is with FirstNet, are those phones already paid off, and are those, stay with the town? And we would probably ask T-Mobile if they would be able to utilize some of those phones that we already have, without having to purchase additional phones, or if we can get, like, I know, a trade-in value for some of the other phones that might not be compatible, and see if we can get credit towards, some of the cost or purchase of the new phones.
So those questions I did ask T-Mobile. As long as they're unlocked by the carrier, then yes, we're eligible to utilize them. So, like, for example, the ones I mentioned before, the supervisors, those we just go to the unlock feature. They unlock them by the carrier. We're able to utilize them with them. So yes, we can utilize them too.
Okay.
And they are paid for. I'm sorry, I was trying to remember the other question. Yes, the phones that we do have right now, they are paid for because the majority of those phones we bought them for 99 cents. So that's the only drawback, right? With Front T-Mobile, there's not we have to pay that price because they're already giving us a break in the service.
And on that break with the service, is it pretty much going to be like, stay and grandfathered in at that rate, and we're not going to see really, increases, things like that?
Correct, because it's under the Connecting Heroes. So T-Mobile is real good about it. I mean, once they have you on that one rate, I mean, they don't really go back on it. So like I said, if we do the 1 gig, which is the majority of the individuals are going to have the 1 gig, it's $0 a month. When we do the unlimited, which is up to 20 gigs of high speed, then it's just $15 a month. I wish I would pay $15 a month.
I mean, it seems pretty comparable. Might be a little bit definitely more economical for the town. I mean, I don't see any, I wouldn't see personally any issue with, pursuing the matter a little bit further to get some of those details and specs ironed out. But I'm sure, we'll leave the floor open to council and see what your guys' thoughts are. What should we do?
I like the idea. I think it's cost saving actually in the long run when you think about it. I mean, and also for $100, $180 a phone, brand new, that's good. That's good. I mean, buying a new phone is going to cost you $1,000, so that's it's better,
Yes, sir. And then they were able to offer the mobile data solution plan. I mean, for pennies on the dollar, if you will. I mean, that's something that is payable by another source of grant funding, so it won't come out of anything from the city's budget.
It's a good deal.
Good. Any other questions, comments? Do we have basically discussion, consideration, and action? Do we have any action being taken on this item?
Hey, Henry, if they take an action, can they say any type of action pending, let's say, for example, any termination fee with FirstNet?
Chief, they can certainly do that, but since I think the mayor brought up a few questions, and you want to bring back some hard numbers, I would probably be more inclined to go with the mayor's suggestion of just tabling the item. You bring it back with some concrete numbers, and then that way everybody's in a better position to make a decision at that point. That's my recommendation.
Any other comment? So then, Henry, once again, just touch base. You're recommending to just get some more information and stuff, and ideally table the item.
That's correct.
Okay. Is there a motion to table?
So moved. On Henry's recommendations?
Do I have a second?
Second.
Okay, motion made by Councilman Garcia, seconded by Councilwoman Flores to go ahead and table the item with all in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed?
Aye.
Okay, motion will carry 4-0. Item 4, commendation on officers Arredondo and Luevano presented by Chief Enriquez.
So Detective Shiraz has brought this up to my attention. On January 3rd, 2021, in the night hours of 4:51 a.m., Officer Christopher Arredondo was on patrol. Officer observed a Ford Freestyle van being driven on Antonio Street from the pilot truck stop towards Interstate 10 without the headlights turned on. Arredondo conducted a traffic stop for the headlight violation, and the subject of the vehicle came to a stop at the 9400 block of South Desert. The officer made contact with a Timothy Camerion. He observed, while doing the interview, he observed a small clear plastic bag near the center console next to the driver that contained white crystal substance. He recognized from the training experience possibly to be an illegal drug substance. He called for Officer Bonner to the scene, and the crystal substance was found to be methamphetamines, the violation of the Texas Health and Safety Code. The substance was, in fact, grams of meth. Also, a search conducted of the vehicle located numerous forged $100 bills. The officers also located the materials used in forging the U.S. currency. And I'm sorry, I take it back. It wasn't, I think it was Officer Luevano. The officers also located the materials used in forging the U.S. currency in the vehicle, such as paintbrushes, bleach, dollar bills prepared for front and back portions of forged $100 bills. The officers also located digital flash drives in the vehicle and obtained consent to search from the subject to look into these flash drives. Officers then opened the flash drives to obtain that they held digital formats of $100 and $20 bills with numerous digital copies of actual bills and the numerous digital copies of the serial numbers to be used in U.S. currency. The Secret Service was contacted in regarding to the U.S. currency and forging materials. U.S. Secret Service agent since then the materials and has presented the information to the AUSA of El Paso and has agreed to prosecute charges to the offender, Timothy Cisneros. This individual is actually, he confessed to the Secret Service and he advised that he was wanted in California and Arizona and of course now in Texas for printing and presenting $100 fake bills. Secret Service is raving about this case, and as under their direction, they wanted us to commendate Officer Arredondo and Officer Luevano on the job well done for stopping this individual for a minor traffic infraction. Of course, taking off the narcotics off of the streets from our area and taking off all those fake dollar bills. This individual was so crafty that he would actually use $1 bills, bleach them, and there are several businesses that they still don't even know that they're forged instruments. So on behalf of the police department, I don't know, Norma, can you share that screen or can I share the certificate? Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
So Officer Arredondo, on behalf of the Anthony, Texas Police Department, would like to commend you for the arrest of an individual wanted for U.S. currency forgery of the town of Anthony, Texas, awarded.
Yes, Chief, I'm here. Yes, sir, I'm on.
Gentlemen, we'd like to thank you for the job well done. We want you to continue doing your diligent hard work. We thank you. I'm pretty sure the U.S. Secret Service, if they were here, they would thank you as well. On behalf of myself and the town, thank you for the job well done. And congratulations, Mayor.
Thank you, Chief.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Congratulations. Thank you, guys.
Thank you
You
very
will receive
much.
you will receive your certificates in your box. Congratulations. Good job. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Chief. Thank you to the Anthony PD and these individuals for their hard work and dedication here to their community. Definitely good to get some of that counterfeit stuff off because, I mean, that definitely negatively impacts the businesses when they're doing that. So great work. Executive session pursuant to section 551.074 personnel matters of the Texas Government Code to the open meeting will be reconvened for the following the closed session, at which time action, if any, will be considered. So we will end this live stream. We'll stop the recording.
record, I'll be starting the recording of this meeting again.
Let me know when it's going. 7:15 p.m. and let the record reflect that no action was taken in executive session. Moving on to item 1. Discussion, consideration, and action on hiring a full-time police officer, a temporary full-time police position, and appointing reserve officers for the Anthony, Texas Police Department. Do I have any comments? Do I have a motion from any of the council members?
I move that we hire the full-time position.
That's seconded.
Okay, I have a motion to move forward with hiring the full-time police officer. But quick question, gentlemen, and Henry, isn't there supposed to be, or ideally, should there be, if there is another motion on the temporary full-time officer, or is council not going to take action on that particular item?
We're voting on them separately.
Okay. Okay.
And if we can tweak, Councilor Weeks, if we can just tweak that motion a little bit, do an amendment to say to authorize the hiring of a full-time police officer. That way, obviously, the chief can bring it back whenever they're ready to fill the position. And we use similar language for any other motion.
Okay, so I move to authorize the hiring of the full-time position.
All right, do I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
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 Any opposed? Okay. Motion carries 4-0.
So are we gonna have a,
That's based on legal recommendation, and if a council member wants to suggest that and make the motion on that.
no more?
To authorize the hiring of a temporary part-time position. Is it temporary part-time?
Full-time,
temp-
sir.
As a temporary full-time position with the understanding of the individual that it is a temporary position.
Do I have a second? All in favor?
Aye.
All right,
Aye.
any opposed? Motion carries 4-0. Henry, are you okay with the way the motions went in regards to the way they were presented?
Mayor, that's good.
Okay. All right,
Mayor,
sounds good.
one other point there on that one is I know there's a mention of appointing reserve officers. I don't know if that is going to be addressed in the form of a motion or not. I just pointing that's also part of the agenda item.
We thought we were gonna have the reserves, Henry, and so
Moving on to item 8, departmental reports. For streets, we were back and forth with TxDOT, and we do still have our speed limit signs. So I guess we'll coordinate with them and see if we just put those up ourselves. Other than that, Everett, do you have anything to add?
Not on the streets, sir. Everything's okay.
Yeah, everything's pretty much, nothing major has come up. I have had some other residents set anything up or, add anything else. If Chief can just coordinate with the officers to kind of, do a little surge in areas. Parks and Recreation, Mr. Hawkins?
Yes, sir. On the parks, I don't know, you had driven through the Richard White and Antonio Street, or actually it's Franklin. They have built the wrong wall, sir, that you requested for that Remember that TxDOT left a little entry where people were cutting into the stop sign on the side coming out from the park. It's done.
The entrance to the Anthony Municipal Park, which was Richard White, we still had that huge gap from that little roadway to the stop sign to the rock wall that cars were still utilizing to drive through and get onto the onto Franklin. I talked to Ebert, and we have the funds available. So what we did is we just redid the rock wall and extended it. That way we can have the even. It can be even in regards to the width and diameter that we have on regards to kind of a shoulder to the entrance from the police.
And also on parks, sir, and council members, we have taken down the Christmas tree. As you saw, the ornaments as well. Decorations. They're actually off. Okay, that's about it for parks.
And as you guys know, if there's anybody that wants to report or anything, we've had some individuals that were there vandalizing the park. They were tearing up all the cords and cutting some of the wiring and stuff, and they were actually getting on the inside of the tree. They had been removing a panel. So that was something that Ebert, decided to go ahead and just, we need to take that tree down before we had any other further incidents involving the park. But if anybody knows anything or who was doing that, please, report it to our local PD. I'm sure we'll definitely take a look into it and, get some accountability. But, it's kind of a shame, but, it is what it is. Moving on to police and fire. Chief?
I don't have nothing to report, sir. Other than we have the food distribution back up and going on Thursdays. That's it.
Thank you, sir. Any follow-up, Chief, on when that might be finishing out? I know they were releasing some more funding to continue it, but I haven't heard anything. I know there's been some mixed discussion, smaller distribution sites. Do you have anything that you might have heard or anything on that?
I haven't heard anything. I'll touch bases with Carmela tomorrow. I'll send her an email and then I'll give you an update tomorrow.
Sounds good, Chief. Thank you. Moving on to water and sewer, Mr. Jaques.
On the water and sewer, sir, we have some reports coming up, which I got in touch with Mark. He's going to just review some of the stuff that I'm going to do for the lost water audit, as well as for the EPA, for the security purposes, sir, on our facilities. I'm getting that done and coordinating with Mark as well. And I'm following up also on the wells, sir. So we're still holding for those parts because of the COVID to get arsenic samples as well as asbestos samples today. That's one of the state requirements. They were grabbed today, so I'm just waiting for the results in a couple of weeks. And I'll let you guys know how that results come out, okay?
Also, Ebert, can you fill in council? I know Mark was getting, we were back and forth with TCQ and we were kind of challenging some of the arsenic letters and some of the issues that we were having with them. Did we get final? I think we did see that email, final confirmation that we were no longer in an arsenic violation.
Yes, sir. We sure did receive a letter that it was addressed on the secretary came and confirmed it. And so we are no longer in violation. And we, to be quite honest, in my personal opinion, we were never worked. It was just that spike. But since their reporting and their math techniques that the TCQ uses, they were actually just utilizing one results from the wells, which is the highest one. But we blended in our water, and they were not taking actually samples for
what's
two locations
being distributed. To
exactly what's actually our customers are drinking or utilizing. They're actually just taking out of that well, and we have 3 wells, sir. And it was kind of unfair. That's the reason why we reached out to
and thank you for touching on, of course, always. But they need to keep in mind is that we have 3 wells and all the water is being blended together. So we would kind of wish that TCQ would rather just take the sample from the water that's actually being distributed to the residents so they can, check the levels of arsenic from there, which we know would pretty much be non-existent. But thank you for touching on that. Ms. Norma, Ms. Gonzalez, you can also let council know we did receive, the monies from the state for the wells and the projects and shit as well.
Yes, sir.
And then moving on. Yes,
also, sir, I had a meeting with Encom, sir, about the relocation of the water line, sir. It's going to be coming up in the next weeks up for bidding. I spoke with Gilbert, sir. He's a project manager on that relocation of, or water line from 6th Street to Magdalena Street, okay? So it's coming up real quick.
Sounds good, sir. Let's see, anything else for water? Everybody good? Moving on to courts, item E. Ms. Gonzalez and Mr. Palomares.
90 cents. There was 187 citations issued, and they had a full revenue for monthly deposits for December of 21, 464 with 20 cents. The next court hearings will be January 13 at 10 a.m. and January 13 at 2 p.m. and January the 20th.
Finance, good news, guys. Check your emails if you haven't. We have that financial questionnaire that we get every year from the auditors. Probably about 2 weeks, guesstimated, time frame from the auditors in completing the audit, the second one. So, as you guys know, that's been our biggest, thing that we've been stressing on financially is trying to get those done. With whatever hiccups happened and whatnot, with previous administration, we're getting the ball back on track and getting it rolling. So hopefully, we get everything finished. Also, are going to be getting together, Norma and Mr. Weeks. We're going to, follow up with David. I know we've had our meetings, but we do need to get ready to present one of our quarterly budget reports, financial reports, so we can go over our budget to actuals and see where we're at financially and how things are being managed at this point in time, and then go from there, guys. Any other questions, comments, Sean?
No, I don't. I would just say that this is going on, I'm 5.5 years in, and this is the first time we've always been two plus, at least 2 behind on the audits, and we got caught up to 1 behind, and now we're going to be current. So that's great.
Good. Yeah, that's good news. Moving on to administration, there's nothing really, that I have to add at this moment in time. We did hear, and we're getting some discussions and emails forwarded that they're looking at extending, the time frame and deadline and stuff for the CARES Act. So that's something that Norma is going to follow up on and stay on top of them. I don't know if they're going to look at releasing or sending out some more funding, but we'll keep you guys, up to date with what's kind of going on with that. And we have been responding to a lot of residents. We have received a lot of inquiries in regards to, who may or may not have received some of the stimulus checks or why they didn't qualify. And one of the things that we wanted, people to understand is it wasn't about, low income, disability, or anything like that. It was, specifically about seeing a negative impact on individuals that were at a financial loss, that were laid off, or, were on unemployment due to this national declared disaster. So that's why the amount went up a little bit, because for us, with the deadline that it was, seeing money go back, some of the individuals saw the amount that they did. It was all equal across the board for those that were able to qualify for it. And we also did reach out to a ton of residents that were in delinquent status with their water to be able to get that covered through the CARES Act. Unfortunately, we only got about half of those individuals taken care of. Some other people just didn't care to apply. And this was really easy. Nothing really needed to get that taken care of and paid through the CARES Act. But like we've said time and time again, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make them drink. So those that did not take advantage of this opportunity, eventually, with whatever happens with the utilities, full payment, and, those arrangements are going to have to be made coming up sometime soon, or they may face, disconnection of water if they move forward with reinstating that. So, just want to keep everybody up to date with that. And that's it. Norma, everybody, the staff, I know, with all this COVID stuff and sometimes just staff and stuff, I really want to commend the girls, everybody that, for hanging in there and toughing it out. You all are doing a great job, and we're just going to continue doing what we're doing, and we'll see how 2021 unfolds. scheduled at 6:30 PM on Monday, January 25th, 2021. Do I have a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Move to adjourn.
I have a motion made by Mr. Weeks. Do I have a second?
I second it.
All righty, seconded by Councilman Alfaro. All in favor?
Aye.
All right, any
Aye.
opposed? I doubt it. Motion
Aye.
to adjourn the meeting at 7:33 PM. Thank you guys, and y'all have a great day.